All right. So New Year's Day is about to go away, and 2 BCS games are in the books. Wisconsin could not represent the Big Ten.
They let me down, man.
TCU, you know the little guy is good pretty much every year. Everyone all over here. Oh, well, remember that year Hawaii got their asses kicked by Georgia? Every other year the little guy wins, but everyone wants to remember. No, they can't play with the big boys because Hawaii lost that one time, and Cincinnati lost last year. So,
I'm not saying they can't.
Half the time the little school wins the game.
I'm not saying they can't play with the big guys, but I'm saying can they do that year round? Can they do that throughout a season? If they
played pretty good football this entire season.
But yeah, bunch of jamolts. I mean, not another 13 years, a bunch of, Plant High School and Jefferson can probably beat them. UNH can probably beat them. So, I mean, they play, Boise play.
UNH can beat a lot of people.
So, I mean, Boise did beat a very good Virginia Tech team.
It's Boise State. Boise State lost. Yeah. Though. Boise State don't have anything to complain about this year. They lost. I'm not going to let Boise State complain this year. I'll let TCU complain. They went undefeated.
But even if they would have won, it would have made a difference.
It's the same old argument, though. Why bother playing the season if you can win all your games and not have a chance of being the champion?
See,
that just is stupid. I don't care if you make them play 6 more games than the winner of the SEC. Put them where they have to beat 6 SEC teams in a row. At least give them a chance to win their way into the championship consideration.
That's where I agree. You shouldn't have 2 undefeated teams. 3 undefeated teams possible too, and
at the end, vote. All you do is vote. Like who would win?
I do. That's one of the things I do agree with you on. But I don't know. When they go to the Big East next TCU and next year, I want to see what they do.
The only difference is they'll be eligible to go to a BCS game.
They'll lose 4 games next year. They lose 4 games next year.
In the Big East?
Yes.
I thought you said they'll lose a maximum of 4 games.
And they'll lose 4 games.
I disagree. They might. I mean, they have new quarterbacks, a new team.
My point.
It's a different team next year.
That's my point. I won't keep saying they're going to run the Big East next year. They're going to be a new team. And that's if to say they're going to keep their coach. I don't think he's going to be there next year. I really don't. I think he's going somewhere else. I'm going to tell you where he's going. He'll probably go to Stanford.
Harbaugh's going to go to
San Francisco
49ers.
Or he may go to Michigan. I don't know. Or he may go to Michigan. He's not going to be there next year. I don't think so. Someone's going to offer him a lot of money, and he's going to be on the move next year. That's just
really.
That's my
Patterson going somewhere.
That's my guess. I mean, if not Michigan, because Rich Rodriguez.
Now's the time to get out. But this is the thing with these coaches: you got to get out while they're getting out. Is good.
Exactly. That's why Urban Meyer left. I think. But
by the way, how much of a pansy is Urban Meyer? You're staring across the sideline at Joe Paterno, who's 84, and I'm doing 84. Well, how are you? What? Oh, what? 50, and you can't handle it anymore. Okay. So I don't blame you. I couldn't handle it anymore at your time, but I coached another 30-something years anyways.
I'm an Urban Meyer fan. I mean, I hate to get it, but I like Urban Meyer. But let him do what he has to do. I mean,
I know. I'm not criticizing his decision or anything, but when it's just funny to compare him on the going against Joe Paterno, and you see a guy that's done it for that long. Yeah. It's just a different approach. I think it's a lot different now than it was when Joe Paterno first started coaching. It's this high stress, 24 hours a day job, and I don't think it was like that for.
No, the system doesn't allow that to happen. I mean, Joe Paterno wasn't making $10 million a year back in the 80s or the 70s. Now these coaches are making $10 million a year and they have to produce. I mean, they're a liability pretty much if they're not winning. And back in Bobby Batt and Joe Paterno, they're lucky to make $40,000 a year. Yeah. So there wasn't much investment on coaches. Now they're making NFL players now $10 million.
It's crazy, obviously.
So, just your boy signed a 4-year, $10 million contract. Mississippi State.
Dan Mullen?
Dan Mullen, yeah.
Well, they got to keep him. He's been amazing there. Winning a New Year's Day bowl game. How Mississippi State, that was not a possibility for Mississippi State ever.
But
to go to New Year's Day games, to compete in the SEC, maybe. Who knows what they're looking at next year. Auburn and Alabama are going to be gutted of their talent. They reload every year, but all the big name players from the SEC are going to be gone. It's going to be a whole other season.
It's going to be interesting, and I think Florida's going to be back on top because I think they're returning some great key players. But I'm anxious to see next year. But
that's next year.
That's next year.
That's next year.
These bowl games are being exciting. Florida State showing that the SEC is garbage, and that all these people comparing like ACC can't win anything, and went in there and destroyed one of the best teams in the SEC this year.
I agree. I can't argue with that. But it's the bowl season, though. The whole thing just reeks for me. I can't stand it at all.
It's what we have. You got to live with it. You know?
I know. Because for the specific instance of you never know when a team like South Carolina just comes out and lays a complete egg in a bowl game. They just don't.
My point. That's
you never know what team like you're good because they don't. You never know when they're just not going to care.
So
like really at the end.
That furthers my argument with the whole TCU and Wisconsin. They can beat a team, once a year. It happens, But do that consistently.
I agree, but it's not like it's Utah State or something like that. They're a good team that went undefeated this year. You can't say it was some sort of fluke.
I'm not.
I don't think you cannot call TCU beating Wisconsin a fluke.
I can't do it. But I mean, I give them that credit. They won, but I'm just not. I'm not ready. I was on the Boise State bandwagon until they disappointed me. I really was
in that game.
But
TCU is a pretty darn good team.
They're good.
They're well rounded. They don't have a lot of weaknesses. They're very good. They're very good. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting cheated by not getting a chance to see TCU take on Auburn or Oregon, something like that.
I agree.
By not getting TCU a chance to play until they lose.
Sure.
Let them play until they lose.
So out of the bowl games now, who's your most disappointing team?
Most disappointing team in any of the bowl games? It has to be. Oh God, I had it all lined up. Nebraska, without a doubt, has to be Nebraska. Talk about not showing up.
Oh man,
them in a tie of Nebraska and Miami, of two teams that looked like they just didn't care. I had no game plan whatsoever, and just got totally just shut down.
I can see Nebraska because Washington has a great coaching staff.
Washington does have a great
quarterback. They had high expectations this year.
Nebraska's offense could not do anything.
True.
They could not move the ball.
But it's hard to beat a team twice, dude. I mean, Nebraska destroyed them in the regular season.
Destroyed them at their place.
Exactly. It's hard to beat a team twice, and you know what things you have to change. Miami's my huge disappointment, but Georgia, man.
Georgia only scoring 6 points against UCF.
Oh my gosh! I mean, UCF was a pretty good team. They're ranked 24th, and they surprised a lot of teams, but
they had a good defense. But it's another thing where freshman quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, at this point of the season, Aaron Murray, you can't be a freshman. At the end of your freshman season, the whole season's over. You're not a freshman anymore, and you can't play like a freshman and make freshman mistakes. And he did it in that game over and over again.
I agree.
He was throwing. I saw like a few plays in a row where he was just throwing the ball into like, what are you looking at, kid?
He was he was a drop in the bucket compared to Harrison, Ja'Cory Harrison.
Ja'Cory Harrison, the Miami.
3 interceptions in the first half.
Well, how many did Garcia throw too? 3 in the first half.
Yep. But I don't know if he had 32 interceptions this year.
32. Ja'Cory Harris.
32.
That doesn't even seem possible.
And he missed 3 games.
No.
He missed.
We're gonna almost between segments. We're gonna look this up.
Almost positive.
32 interceptions.
Almost positive he had 32 interceptions. And he missed 3 games.
He must be one hell of a prospect for them to keep him out on the field for that long.
So he's transferring next year. I'm guessing Jefferson High School or somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it's 13 interceptions and he missed 3 games.
That's unbelievable. So the biggest disappointment, you're going with Georgia.
I'm going Georgia.
I'm sticking with Nebraska.
Nebraska.
That really,
I agree.
Really irked me. In our next segment, we're going to do biggest bowl surprise, and among other things, we're still going, but we got to take a slight pause here.